Hi Mary, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I just want to start off today by saying thank you for coming. I also wanted to just say that anything that you say to me is confidential unless you're going to harm yourself or someone else. Does that sound okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get started here. How are you doing? How are you feeling about school?
I still don't want to go to school. I just feel really anxious being around the other kids.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't really fit in, and I'm just really always worried about just being in school. Like when I'm walking through the hall, if people are looking at me or what they might be thinking about me, if they're talking about me to their friends. I just would rather stay home so that I didn't have to worry about all of that.
So it looks like you've missed a lot of school over the past few years. Is how would you rate your everyday school life from like 1 to 10? How would you rate like an average day?
I would give it a 2.
A 2. All right, so that's pretty low.
And I only give it a 2 because I can do the work, and I don't mind doing the work. But being around everybody, that's why I can't.
Well, because it also says here that your teachers, they say that you're really smart and that you do well with the work, but they may not see you socializing as much with other students. Can you tell me what that's like for you? Maybe when you walk into a new classroom or have to sit next to people you don't know in class?
It's just really overwhelming. If I go into a new class and have to sit next to someone I don't know, I'm worried if they think my outfit is stupid, or I'm just worried. I notice my breathing is really quick, then I'm wondering if they're noticing that I'm like breathing funny. It's really, I just have a lot of anxiety, and it's just really hard for me to just be in school.
So it seems like you have a lot of anxiety around being around other people. Does this just happen at school, or does it happen in other places too?
It happens other places too. I really just stay home with my mom. I don't really go out much, but school is somewhere that you have to go.
Yeah.
That's what everyone tells me, so it shows up the most there because I know that I should be there. I just can't, and I don't want to.
Yeah. So you say that when you're not in school, like, you don't really hang out with others. Do you really just spend time with your mom? What do you and your mom do together?
We watch TV. We'll have dinner. We hang out, we chat, but nothing crazy. I spend a lot of time in my room. I like to listen to music and just kind of lay down.
Have you always spent a lot of time with your mom growing up?
No. Well, sometimes my mom had an alcohol problem, but now that she's clean, I find that I really want to be around her because I feel like I missed that time.
Yeah,
before.
Definitely. So, kind of shifting gears, it sounds like you're pretty anxious about some social experiences that you are having, especially with school. So I also want to acknowledge, about your mother. That's great that she's doing better, and that's great that you get to be a part of it all, and that you are going to get to experience, her to her full self.
Yeah.
So I just want to talk about maybe where you're feeling anxious, because what we're going to do is that I have this little sheet here that it's for recognizing your automatic thoughts, which are the thoughts that are just randomly popping up in your head, especially like when a particular event happens, whether it's, like you're feeling anxious or whether you're feeling sad or happy. But here I want to just talk about maybe 3 events that you've had that have caused you to feel anxious, and what that's like for you and what your automatic thoughts are.
Okay.
So can you think of a time in the past few weeks that you've felt really, really anxious?
I feel anxious when I have to ride the bus to school.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like having to get on the bus and not, maybe, I know my friends don't ride the bus already
Yeah.
because I know that they don't live in my neighborhood. So I know I don't know anyone on the bus, and I'm worried that if all the seats are taken, someone won't allow me to sit next to them, or the bus will be full by the time I get on, and then I'll just be embarrassed.
So, what are some of your automatic thoughts about riding the bus? Like, you get on the bus and what do you?
I just think that no one wants to sit next to me, even if there is a seat, or there won't be any seats.
Yeah, it sounds like that's a pretty anxious experience for you, you know, bus full of kids and you get on and, you know, everybody's already there and, you know, what if there's nowhere to sit? And you said you feel worried, and is there anything else, any other emotions that you may be feeling at that time?
I just feel kind of, like dumb, I guess, because here I am, I'm a sophomore, I've already had a year of school, and there's freshmen on the bus, and they have friends, and they get on the bus and sit down, or I just feel like maybe I shouldn't be that worked up, but I still am.
I mean, it is definitely tough when, you know, you don't have anyone to sit with. Maybe also we have to think about how negative that we're being on ourselves, because you stated that maybe you feel kind of dumb about when you experience a situation. So maybe if we also take a step back and kind of think about, would you consider, like, would you go out and call maybe one of your friends dumb and say, well, you look dumb, or maybe even another student be like, well, they have no one to sit with, they're dumb.
No, I wouldn't, because I know what it feels like to be that person. And I, like, if my friend Jess was telling me the same thing, I wouldn't say that she was dumb.
So I just point that out because you also just need to try to have the same compassion for yourself that you have for others. Give yourself some credit. You know, it is an anxious experience. It's scary sometimes, you know, to be alone. It can be scary. It can be frightening. So also just like make sure that like you're taking care of yourself, and, you know, being negative or having like what we call unhelpful thinking. You know, you're gonna keep saying that you're dumb when you're not. You're just going through something that, you know, maybe others are going through as well. So is there any other event that you feel anxious about?
Yeah, when we have to do the group science work in the lab, and you're assigned a lab partner. Well, I had to be assigned a lab partner because everyone else paired up.
Oh, okay.
So I was assigned a lab partner. I don't know if they wanted to work with me or not. I don't know if they are upset that they have to work with me. I just felt sorry for them having to work with me if they didn't want to.
All right, so the group science project for you. So what was that? How did you feel? I wrote down that your automatic thoughts was that you were unsure whether or not they would be open to working with you if they wanted to or not. So how did that make you feel when your teacher paired you up? Like,
I felt embarrassed that I wasn't able to find my own partner. I felt upset. I just felt a lot of like really negative things. Sad. I was upset, like I said. I didn't know. I felt bad for the other person. I mean, I wouldn't want to be my partner because I don't really know how to work well. So having someone else having to work with me, it's awkward for me.
what do you mean when you say you don't really work well?
Because I don't go to school. Like I can do the work, but I know that I haven't been to school a lot. Now I feel bad for this person, but some days I just wake up and I just can't go to school.
So it seems like you're kind of maybe set in a way of maybe thinking negatively about how you might not be able to be productive within the group, with your lab partner because you miss so much school. But maybe we can, in the future, think of some things that, you know, can help you stay on task, keep your attendance up at school, and, you know, working collaboratively with your lab partner. So I also just want to talk about one more event in the past few weeks that made you feel anxious.
Lunch. So my friends and I are in the same lunch wave.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where to go. I don't know where to sit. When I get in the lunch wave, it's so loud and everyone's kind of doing their thing. I don't know. Like, it's just really overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should bring lunch or if I should buy lunch. If I buy lunch, where do I go with it? It's just...
Yeah, lunch is definitely it's
a lot.
A tricky social paradigm there because you kind of don't really know where to sit, who to sit with. So some automatic thoughts that you might be having during that time is maybe like you say.
Yep, there's nowhere to sit. No one will want me to sit with them if I do find a seat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any friends there, so I just kind of really think there's no one for me here. Like, where do I fit in and where do I go?
And your friends have different lunch schedules than you. That can be tough, definitely, you know, being alone in those situations. And overwhelming too.
Yeah.
So what are some emotions that you feel during this time?
Really anxious. Nervous if I pick the wrong table to sit at and no one talks to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just really those two feelings a lot. I feel shaky, like I don't know where to go because I'm so anxious. And then I don't want to sit somewhere and be anxious and be shaking and have other people think weird things about me.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like to me, and also by looking at this, that a lot of your anxiety comes from maybe like social events, like riding the bus or doing group work or even working with a partner. And at lunchtime, you know, school is very tough. High school is very tough. You're surrounded by people all the time. So maybe, you know, your attendance may be a reflection of how anxious you're feeling, and really we just basically are taking a step back and looking at it through a different lens, and, you know, breaking it down of maybe that these could be some possibilities of why you don't feel like going to school, and they are all adding up. So maybe the next time that we meet, we can sort of try to tackle different ideas and different things that we can do to, you know, maybe make riding the bus easier for you, or, you know, maybe working maybe outside of your school with your lab partner to get the project done and things like that. I mean, it will come with time. We don't have to do it all right away. You know, maybe we won't do it all. But yeah, so if you have any questions, just let me know. But for now, and if you have anything that you're feeling anxious about from here until we meet again, just, you know, keep a little journal, write down exactly what you're thinking, your emotions, and then we can kind of talk about it and see, and kind of break it down. So,
okay.
Sounds good?
Yep.
Thank you.